Hello, and welcome to my happy little bubble. Morning everyone, as you can see we've got another pretty wet day today, so I'm going to head into the kitchen and we're going to have a go at making some homemade bread and some homemade soup. Let's get to it. So we've been to greengrocers, got our stuff for our soup. I want to move that to one side because we're going to do some homemade bread. So we need nice clean hands, clean surface, and we'll get straight on with that. So what we've got is a bowl. We've got 500 grams of strong bread flour, which is what you need to make a nice strong bread. 300 millilitres of warm water. 7 grams of dried yeast, which always come in 7 gram packets. 2 teaspoons of salt. 3 tablespoons of oil. Simple as that. Basically, we want flour into the bowl. Then we want to add our 7 grams of yeast. And we don't want the salt or the yeast to touch, so we're going to put the yeast on one side. And then we are going to put in our 2 teaspoons of salt on the other side. And I'm going to add in 1, 2, 3 of olive oil and our water into the middle. Simple as that. Bring it together and then we are going to knead this onto the bench for a good 10-15 minutes till we get all the glutens working in the dough. And as we bring this together, we're going to turn out onto our surface and then start kneading. So, don't be tempted to add any more liquid or flour and just keep kneading this. And you can start picking up all the bits off the table, and hopefully at the end you should end up with a clean hand and then a clean table again. And what we're looking for, I've only been doing this for a couple of seconds, if I stretch this out it's going to kind of break away, and you want it to hang really tightly together so you can pull it with a nice stretch. And when you get to that point, you know that you are somewhere near ready for your first prove. So we've been kneading this now for a good 10-15 minutes, and you can feel the difference in your hands, and you'll notice that the bench is clean, hands relatively clean, and we've got a nice elastic dough, so we know our gluten's working. So that can now be formed into just a ball for our first proof, and we basically take our hands over the top and tuck underneath and keep turning. So we get a nice ball go back into our bowl, cover that with some cling film that's been oiled on the other side so it doesn't stick. Leave that for 2 hours somewhere and we'll turn our attention to our soup. So we're going to start our soup. I like a nice easy soup. You can do anything you want really in a soup and just boil it up. Nice bit of stock added in and blend it down. I'm going to start this one with an onion and garlic sort of saute with some olive oil, and then I'm just going to start adding in my veg, boiling water, stock, let it all come together and blitz. So I've got some flat leaf parsley, so carrots, some celery, a leek, a parsnip, turnip and potatoes. So we'll get these prepped and diced and chopped. They don't need to be too fine because, as I said, they're going to get blended at the end. And we'll put this together, and then hopefully by that point our bread's ready to sort and we can get that ready to go into the oven. So we've been cooking this down now for about half an hour to 40 minutes. The veg is nice and tender and our water has reduced a bit, so I'm going to add a little bit more water. I'm going to add our stock into there, as I say, get a good vegetable stock, and then we'll be ready to blend, but always blend off the heat. I learnt that lesson the hard way when I tried to blend when I was younger with it on the heat and melted my blender. So yeah, take it off the heat, hand blender, and we'll get it sorted, and that is soup done. So there's our soup, guys, our thick and creamy vegetable soup. Obviously you can add more water if you want it a bit thinner, but I quite like a nice thick soup with my chunky fresh bread, obviously seasoned with salt and pepper. And there we go. Let's get onto our bread and see where we're up to with that. Okay, let's bring our bread back and then we can see where we're up to. Do our second proof, get it in the oven, and then we're ready for dinner. So this is quite a big bowl, but what you're looking for, hopefully you can see, is that our dough's doubled in size pretty much, and we've got a nice lot of condensation on the underside. So if we take this off, and I'm going to keep this cling film to the side, so I'm going to reuse this on our second proof. And here is our dough. Now what this stage is called is knocking back. So we knock back the dough, release a little bit of the air, we do a second knead, reform again, and then we're ready to eat. Tip this out, and we've got a really nice, light, fluffy dough now. So knock this back, and it feels so different from how it felt when it first went in. We've got a really light dough now, and then it's up to you, and you need to prepare what you want to cook it on. So you can do it in a loaf tin, you can do it on a baking tray. I'm still undecided, but I think today I'm going to just try a baking tin. So we'll get that out, get that oiled up. Okay, so I've got a nice simple loaf tin. I'm just going to put a tiny little bit of olive oil in the bottom there. I'll cover that round again. This should give it a nice crust. We'll take our dough and we're going to form, like we did earlier, another tight ball. And this time we're going to drop our dough into our final resting spot. And as I say, that can just be on a baking tray. You can split this dough down into buns, put it in a plait, whatever you want to do. But as I say, today I'm just going to drop this nicely into our tin. There we go. And I'm going to very lightly cover again with my cling film. And I'm not going to tuck it in because that's going to hopefully fill, rise and come over. And then we'll be ready to preheat our oven to quite a hot oven. We want about at least 220 and then we'll get cooking. So I'm going to carefully bring our bread back over here, getting the oven up to temperature. And we're going to very, very slowly take off this cling film so we don't knock the air bubbles out. And as you can see, that's filled beautifully over the top. I'm going to throw in this little bit of water in the tray in the oven at the bottom to create some steam, and that'll give me a nice crust. And we'll cook this till it's golden brown on top, and when we tip out it should have a nice hollow sound underneath. Okay, so our oven is up to temperature. Very carefully remove this cling film. Try not to knock any air out because it's looking good. Take that off gently, and then here we go. Okay. And there we go. Delicious. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe to my channel for some more programs on good food, gardening and just general lovely things inside my happy little bubble. Thanks for watching.